Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. The Miami Dolphins made waves in the 2025 NFL Draft by selecting Quinn Ewers, a quarterback, whose name has been buzzing in college football circles for a while now. Known for his arm talent and Texas swagger, Ewers brought a certain level of intrigue to the Dolphins' quarterback room. But just a few weeks after the pick, the optimism around his immediate future has started to fade. A recent report by Alang Popart, a well-respected Dolphins beat writer, has cast a shadow over Ewers' short-term chances in Miami. While fans were hoping he might challenge for the backup spot behind Tua Tagovailoa, Popart suggests the reality is far from that dream. The report paints a picture where Ewers is essentially QB3, barring something dramatic, and that drama would need to come in the form of a complete collapse by Zach Wilson. Yes, that Zach Wilson, once a Jets savior, now clinging to a backup job in Miami. According to Popart, Wilson is firmly in control of the QB2 position heading into training camp. The phrasing was clear. It's absolutely Wilson's job to lose. That doesn't leave much room for imagination. If Ewers wants to jump up the depth chart, it won't just take a solid camp. It'll require Wilson to flop hard and Ewers to look like the second coming of Joe Montana. That's a tall order for a rookie who hasn't taken a single NFL snap yet. And to be fair, Wilson hasn't been great, but he's experienced. He's thrown for over 6,000 yards. And while the 25 interceptions are concerning, he at least knows what a regular season game looks like. Ewers, meanwhile, is entering a completely new world. No matter how talented you are in college, the NFL is a whole different beast. And for now, the Dolphins aren't willing to roll the dice on a rookie with no pro experience as their primary insurance policy behind Tua. So why did the Dolphins draft Ewers if they didn't believe he could immediately push for a higher spot? On the depth chart, well, the pick was more about long-term potential than instant impact. Miami is playing the slow game here, which makes sense when you consider their recent quarterback woes. Ewers does have the tools. He's got the arm, the mobility, and that undeniable it factor that had scouts raving during the pre-draft process. But potential is just potential until it's proven. And in the brutal ecosystem of the NFL, raw talent isn't enough. You need refinement, timing, decision-making, and above all else, trust. The Dolphins clearly believe Ewers needs time to develop those qualities. And with Tua's job safe for now, and Wilson viewed as the more reliable immediate option, Ewers will be spending more time with the clipboard than under center, at least in 2025. From a team management perspective, going with Wilson as the backup is the safe move. It might not be flashy, and it certainly won't inspire the fan base, but it's predictable. Coaches love predictability, especially when your franchise QB has had health concerns in the past. Tagovailoa has missed significant time over the last couple of seasons, and the last thing Miami wants is to throw a rookie into the fire without a lifeline. Wilson, for all his inconsistencies, has been in those trenches. He's faced NFL defenses, dealt with hostile environments, and made all the rookie mistakes already. That's valuable experience you can't replicate in practice. So while Ewers might have the higher ceiling, Wilson currently offers the higher floor. And in the NFL, when your season could depend on the guy behind your starter, the floor matters a whole lot more than fans like to admit. But here's the harsh truth for Dolphins fans. If Tua goes down again, it almost won't matter who's next up. Miami has struggled mightily without him. The offense loses rhythm, the defense spends too much time on the field, and the locker room energy takes a hit. We've seen it. Without Tua, they're not the same team. That's why there's so much pressure on the quarterback room, and why this debate around Ewers and Wilson matters. It's not just about who can throw the prettiest spiral in practice. It's about who can survive under pressure, lead a huddle, and scrape out a win on the road in December. Right now, the Dolphins don't believe Ewers is that guy. Not yet. But let's be clear. That doesn't mean they're giving up on him. Far from it. They're just not ready to hand him the keys to the kingdom, not when the stakes are this high. For Ewers, this isn't a disappointment. It's an opportunity. Training camp is where players earn respect, learn systems, and show coaches they belong. He doesn't need to win the backup job this year to set himself up for a strong NFL future. What he needs is growth. He needs to absorb everything he can. From Tua, from Wilson, and from the coaching staff. Watch film ask questions, and take every rep like it's a playoff snap. Because injuries happen. Weird seasons happen. And when that moment comes, maybe in week 14 after 2 bad hits, or maybe next season after a depth chart shakeup, he'll need to be ready. The NFL waits for no one, but it does reward those who prepare. If Ewers stays locked in, his moment will come. And when it does, he'll have the chance to prove everyone who doubted him wrong. Of course, this doesn't mean Dolphins fans shouldn't be excited about Ewers. In fact, they should be. Just because he won't be QB2 in 2025 doesn't mean he won't eventually be QB1 material. Think about it. How many quarterbacks thrive immediately? Very few. Most need time. Patrick Mahomes sat for a year. Aaron Rodgers sat for 3. Adi. League has shown us time and time again that sometimes patience is the key to unlocking greatness. Ewers is in a good situation, a stable team with offensive weapons, an intelligent coaching staff, and no pressure to be the guy right away. That's a recipe for success if he's willing to be patient and put in the work. If anything, this could be the best thing for his career. The slower the burn, the longer the fire lasts. And if Ewers can play the long game, Miami might just end up with a star down the line. There's also the human element to this story. Let's not forget, Ewers is just a kid stepping into a massive spotlight. He went from high school phenom to college standout, and now he's in the NFL, one of the biggest transitions any athlete can make. The pressure, the speed of the game, the expectations, it's all overwhelming. But stories like these are why we love sports. The underdog arc, the doubted rookie, the slow rise to glory. Every franchise dreams of finding that diamond in the rough. And while Ewers might not shine immediately, he's got the chance to become that diamond. But that journey starts with humility and a willingness to learn. The NFL is as much mental as it is physical. If Ewers can embrace the grind and stay hungry, he could very well flip this narrative a year or 2 from now. In the end, Quinn Ewers isn't the Dolphins' backup quarterback right now. And that's okay. What matters is what he becomes. The 2025 season will be a learning experience, a chapter in his story, not the final one. Zach Wilson has the job for now, but jobs in the NFL are never secure for long. All it takes is one injury, one bad game, or one breakthrough performance to change everything. For Ewers, the mission is simple. Stay ready. So while the headlines might paint a bleak picture today, don't be so quick to count him out. The NFL is full of surprises, and when his moment comes, because it will come, Quinn Ewers will have the chance to show Miami and the entire football world exactly what he's made of. Until then, sit tight, keep grinding, and stay ready. Because in this league, opportunity doesn't knock twice, it crashes the door down. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Finns this week? A bombshell has just rocked the NFL world. Aaron Donald, the fearsome defensive tackle and cornerstone of the Los Angeles Rams defense, is reportedly on the move to the Miami Dolphins in what many are calling a historic trade. The news comes as a massive shock, considering Donald's long-standing dominance and loyalty to the Rams franchise. For years, he has been the face of their defensive line, terrorizing quarterbacks and transforming the Rams into perennial contenders. Now, the Dolphins, a team with rising ambitions but still searching for that defining superstar, could be on the verge of landing one of the greatest defensive players in NFL history. This deal, if confirmed, doesn't just reshape 2 teams, but could shift the entire balance of power in the league. Aaron Donald's impact on the Rams has been nothing short of legendary. Since being drafted in 2014, he's earned multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards and has been a constant nightmare for offenses across the NFL. His ability to disrupt plays, sack quarterbacks, and command double teams made him an irreplaceable asset. The Rams' defense was built around his presence, and his leadership helped guide the team to a Super Bowl victory in the 2021 season. So, the prospect of him leaving Los Angeles sends ripples through the fan base and analysts alike. It raises questions about the Rams' future defensive strategy and how they intend to replace a player of his caliber. On the other side, the Miami Dolphins are in a fascinating position. After a period of rebuilding and development, the franchise is eager to make a statement and cement itself as a true contender in the AFC. Acquiring Aaron Donald would instantly elevate their defense to an elite level and send a clear message that Miami is serious about competing for championships. The Dolphins have been aggressive in their off-season moves, and landing a player of Donald's stature would be a coup, potentially sparking a new era in South Florida. Fans are already buzzing with excitement at the prospect of seeing Donald don the aqua and orange. This trade, while still unofficial, reportedly involved complex negotiations. The Dolphins are said to have given up a significant package of draft picks and possibly young players in exchange for Donald. Trades of this magnitude rarely happen without intense back-and-forth discussions, as both teams weigh the immediate and long-term impacts. For the Rams, this could signal a shift towards rebuilding or retooling, focusing on acquiring new talent and salary cap flexibility. Meanwhile, Miami is clearly doubling down on talent acquisition, willing to invest heavily now to build a championship. Roster. From a strategic perspective, Aaron Donald's arrival in Miami transforms the defensive front. His presence alone commands attention from opposing offenses, potentially freeing up other defensive players to make plays. The Dolphins' pass rush, already solid, would become one of the most feared units in the league. This kind of upgrade could change the narrative around Miami, from playoff hopefuls to legitimate Super Bowl contenders. The ripple effect extends beyond defense. A stronger defense means better field position and more opportunities for the Dolphins' explosive offense to capitalize. The implications for the Rams are equally significant. Losing Aaron Donald leaves a massive hole in their defensive scheme. They'll need to find new ways to pressure quarterbacks and stop the run without their star defender. The front office will be under pressure to either develop emerging talent or pursue free agents to fill the gap. Fans and analysts will be watching closely to see how the Rams respond, especially since the team has been building around Donald's dominance for years. This moment could mark a pivotal transition for the franchise. Looking at Aaron Donald himself, this trade represents a major career change. Moving from a familiar team and city to Miami introduces new challenges and opportunities. Donald will have to adapt to a different defensive scheme, coaching staff, and locker room culture. However, it also offers a fresh start and a chance to cement his legacy by elevating another team to elite status. His leadership and experience will be invaluable in mentoring younger players and helping the Dolphins navigate the pressures of playoff contention. The reaction from the NFL community has been electric. Social media exploded with fans, players, and analysts weighing in on the trade's significance. Many praise Miami's bold move, while others speculate about the Rams' future without their star. Some debate how this affects the balance of power in the league and which teams might emerge as favorites in the coming seasons. The trade could set off a domino effect, influencing other teams' strategies in free agency and the draft. It's a moment that feels like a turning point in NFL history. Beyond the on-field impact, there are off-field stories to consider. Aaron Donald has become a global sports icon, known not just for his skill, but for his character and work ethic. His presence in Miami could boost the team's marketability and fan engagement. Local businesses, media, and sponsors will undoubtedly capitalize on this high-profile acquisition. It's a win for the Dolphins, not just on the field, but as a franchise looking to grow its brand and fan base nationally and internationally. As the situation develops, all eyes will be on both franchises to see the fallout of this historic trade. The Dolphins must integrate Aaron Donald quickly and effectively, while the Rams will need to strategize for life without him. For football fans everywhere, this is an exhilarating chapter filled with questions, excitement, and high stakes. Thing is clear, this isn't just a trade. It's a defining moment that could shape the NFL landscape for years to come. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.